Hi and welcome back. As a bonus feature, I want to add this extended stretching session to the collection of our 10-minute series. So well done for joining in the 14-day challenge. If you're coming from there, viewing this video, you already have an idea of what to expect as we're going to go through a nice full body stretch routine, taking more time through each of the movements and holds to enjoy the relaxation element of the stretching routine. And for those of you who may be coming from other sources or first time viewers, it's good to have you with me. So let's start on all fours in a quadruped position with our hands beneath our shoulders and knees beneath our hips. Drawing the belly button, breathing in deep into the lungs and exhale. Try and stay with the breath through this routine. As you roll the pelvis forwards, you're going to breathe in, roll the pelvis backwards and out. Long breath in, long breath out. Gradually increase the curvature through the spine, involving the mid-spine, working into the upper spine, including the head. Try and keep the chin tucked as you flex and bend, breathing in and out. We're just trying to loosen up and articulate the spine to increase the movement, blood flow. This is great for a morning routine. Find a neutral spine. And coming into a downward dog, lifting the knees, hips up, drop the chest down to the ground, pressing through the heels and hands. Feel the stretch through the back of the thighs. If you can't get the knees perfectly straight, that's okay. If your heels can't quite get to the ground, that's okay too. Drop into a plank position, and we're going to take the left leg and bring it outside of the left hand, dropping the hips down to the ground. Enjoying this stretch. We're going to spend a bit of time in this stretch in just a moment, but before we do, take a deep breath in, extend the front leg, drive the back heel into the ground, keep both feet pointing forwards. You should get a beautiful stretch through the calf muscle, especially the back of the front thigh. We're going to bring the spine into neutral, holding this balance. Feel free to lightly place your hand on your front thigh. If you're finding it difficult to balance, place both hands down on the ground lightly. We are trying to get a good deep stretch through the front thigh, the back, and then the back leg. We're working through the calf muscle here. Go ahead and bend that front knee. Bringing the hands inside, holding this nice long lunge. And we're going to take the right hand and release it from the ground. Sweep it round, opening the chest, Let the eyes follow the hand. We're looking at the roof, stretching the arm out to the roof, opening the chest, opening the hips. And return hand to the ground. Drop the back knee. Again, further dropping into the hips. We're going to take the left hand and release from the ground. Rotate towards the leading leg. Again, let the eyes follow the hand, stretching up to the roof. We get some rotation through the inner thigh, chest, mid-spine, stretching through the front of the back leg, the front thigh. That's those quads there. And drop your hands down to the ground, lift the chest up. Let's focus on deep tissues of the hip flexors, psoas muscles. Drop the hips down. You can use the leading leg for a bit of support. If you're okay to balance, then extend both arms up, stretching out the spine. Trying to roll these hips, the pelvis forward slightly, just to take that deep arch out of the lower back and keep a neutral spine. Reaching overhead. As you reach, make sure you're stretching up as though someone's pulling your hands away from you, pulling your arms up and out of your sockets. Deep breath in. Exhale, drop hands down to the ground. And we're going to shift our bum to our heel, extending the front leg, pulling your toes into your shins, stretching out the back of the hamstrings and the back of the calves. Drop the chest down towards your thighs. So I'm going to throw in a few extra holds and positions into this longer stretch routine, just to go with the flow of what I usually do. So this will vary from the 10-minute stretch session if you followed along with that one. If you're unfamiliar with the 10-minute stretch routine, just check out the link above. You should find it somewhere in the corner of the screen for a much shorter stretch routine. And let's come back up. And we're going to take our back leg, lift it up, extending through the leg. Front leg, we're going to sweep it underneath us and drop back down into a pigeon pose. Feel free to drop down to your forearms and allow the hips to sink into the ground, stretching out the glutes. Keep your hips squarely facing the floor and focus on the breath. Take this time to focus on not just the breath, but the body itself, the muscles that are being stretched
Stretch then the hips, the joints, ankles, elbows, the areas that you're trying to mobilize. Nice long breath in. Let's come up onto our hands, extend the back leg. Coming up into a full plank position and shifting back into downward dog. Drop the chest down to the ground. Just see if you can get a bit more length through the back of the thighs, pushing the heels into the ground. And transition into full plank. We're taking the opposite leg forwards, bringing the right leg outside of the right hand. Get comfortable in this position. And we are going to take a nice deep breath in. As we exhale, extend the front leg. Both feet pointing forwards. This is the second time I'm doing this, so getting a really good and deep stretch today. If you're comfortable, you can release the hands. Bring the spine into neutral. Maintain that balance. If at any point you feel like you're losing your balance or you need to readjust, your feet might be slipping, feel free to drop the hand down and get yourself back into position. Drop the hands down. Bend that front knee. Make sure both hands are on the inside of the leading leg. We're driving that rear heel backwards, extending through the legs. Release the left arm and hand. Reach up to the roof, opening the chest. Staying with the breath. Teasing as much rotation through the mid-spine as possible. Long breath in. As you exhale, return hand down to the ground. We're going to drop the back knee down to the ground. And see if we can drive the hip into the mat a little bit further to increase the stretch through the psoas muscles, the hip flexors. And release the right hand. Rotate around to the roof. Really testing the mid-spine, trying to get as much rotation through it as possible. Pressing the left hand down into the ground, it's nice and straight. Dropping the hips back down to the ground. I can feel them shifting backwards, so be sure they're going in the right direction and pushing down towards the floor. Return your hand to the mat and we're going to come up. Taking the curve out the lower spine, rolling the pelvis forwards. chest up nice and high. Let's extend and reach up, stretching through the spine. Deep breath in and long breath out, releasing the tension. Deep breath in and long breath out, releasing the tension. Drop the hands down to the ground. Extend the back leg and sweep the front leg underneath you, coming into Pigeon Pose. Release the back foot and drop down to your forearms if you're comfortable to do so. Deep breath in, let's come back up. Back into a plank position, so extend the back leg. And then bring the front leg to meet, dropping down to the ground. Releasing the feet, pressing through the hands, keep the chest peel off the ground, hips down. Cobra stretch, release the shoulders, nice and relaxed, stretching out the anterior chain, working through the abs and chest. Drop down to the ground. Flex feet, shift back into child's pose. Allowing the lower back to curve and stretch. Deep breath in, transition back onto your belly. Keeping the hips down, peel the chest off the ground, pushing through palms, driving elbows back into cobra stretch. And rolling down. Come back into child's pose. Keep the shoulders relaxed, elbows relaxed, and wrist. We're going to take our left hand and place it on our right hand, stretching out the left side of the body. Breathe deep into the left side of your lungs. Feel the stretch through the outside of your body. As you release the breath, release the tension. And release. Let's change side. And you might find to get the most out of this stretch, you need to bring, or how can I put this? You need to bring the hands further over to increase the stretch. Work with your body. Take it to a degree or limit that you can bear while still getting the benefit of the stretch. You may feel like one side needs more stretching than the other, so just spend a bit more time there. And when you're ready, join back in. Let's release, come back to center. Take a moment to relax. Staying with the breath. We're going to come up onto all fours. Flex feet. And let's change position. Coming onto our buttocks. Feet hip width apart. Hands behind you. Coming into this lounge chair, stretching out the shoulders and the chest, working through this anterior chain here. Should feel a beautiful stretch. If this is suitable for you and enough, then stay here. If not, you can increase this stretch by shifting your bum towards your heels, keeping the spine nice and straight, and try not to extend the neck too far forward. What they call it, text neck, where you're poking it forwards, almost like a pigeon. Pull the chin in, keep the spine neutral from the top of your head to your tailbone. You can take this even further by lifting the hips off the ground, lifting your buttocks off the ground, and just playing with the angle. Open up the hips a bit more. I feel a beautiful stretch down my biceps. My hips are nice and open, nice and free. Chest and shoulders still getting a good stretch. Slowly dropping back down, releasing that stretch. We're going to take the left leg and we're going to drop it outside of the body. Feet stay where they are, just rolling the sole of your feet off the floor, opening the hip. And then we're going to come for some internal rotation, dropping the knee inside. Again, just rolling through the sole of your feet in and out. We're going to do 5 of these. In and out for 4 more. For 3 more. I really feel tightness through here. I am working through a hamstring pull. 2 more, which is why it's quite tender. Last one. And bring that foot flat on the floor. Let's work through the opposite side. So from this point, let's do 5, 4, 3. Try and keep both buttocks down for this, so we're not rolling through the lower spine. For 2. And the last one. And back to center. Let's take both hips and rotate outwards. Now we can add a bit more rotation through the lower spine. Buttocks come off the ground and we're switching. Let's do 10 of these in total. So 90 stretches for 1. Breathe in and out to release for 2. 3. 4. So we're getting some stretching and rotation through the hips and the glutes. Mobility is what we're working through the hips. 5 more. I know that your bum might be sliding away from you. You feel like you're traveling down the mats. We're almost there. 2 more. Last one. And back to center, feet flat. Shift your bum backwards, extending through the legs. Flex feet. Extend arms out front, reaching through the spine. Let the head lead, arms follow. Stretching out the back of the legs and spine. If you find it quite difficult to keep the legs straight, then a slight bend in the knee is okay. Breathing in, rolling up. Relaxing through the shoulders one last time. If your shoulders are a bit tender or achy, drop the hands down to the ground and just slide your hands along past your heels or to your heels. Rolling up. Rolling out the neck. Oh, let's do half circles through the neck. Tuck and roll to the left, tuck and roll to the right. Keep the posture nice and tall. Relax the legs, relax the ankles. And bring the head back to center. Shake out the arms, shake out your legs. Beautiful work. Thank you very much for joining in this extended stretch routine. It's a beautiful routine that you can shorten down. Try the 10-minute routine. Again, the link is above, and that's excellent for first thing in the morning. This is a beautiful stretch for the evening. Nice de-stress after a workout is brilliant, or even after a short run, walk, jog, anything just to warm the muscles up initially, and then go into this routine in conjunction with anything else or as a standalone, and you will reap the benefits as long as you keep it consistent. I will see you again for more stretching and workout ideas. Until the next time, peace. Have a good one.